Britain's greatest literary hero. His work has spoken to countless generations, nationalities, and cultures, and to men, women, and children alike. His plays have been translated into every language under the sun, and performances of them can be seen from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. But how much do you really know about the man and his wondrous works? So, yeah, it's a good intro to Shakespeare. Okay, my next book. This is just a visual reference guide to religions. So, beliefs, ceremonies, festivals, gods, sex, sacred texts. I'm trying to read that inverted. It's all backwards. The camera. So this is just like a simple, like kind of plastic, flexible material. These are all like chapters and contents. So the first chapter talks about what is religion, then primal religions. So very like early religions. The monotheistic religions, the Indian religions, the Eastern religions, new religious movements, who's who in religion, and then the directories at the very end. Shows all of his different religions, important people. I believe that's the Cabal in Mecca. Yep. So that's in Mecca. Picture. I'm trying to read you something quick. Okay. Going to do a quick excerpt. Originating from almost every corner of the globe, the world's religions are as diverse as its cultures. This makes religion difficult to define, especially as it deals with intangible concepts, God, the purpose of life, the afterlife, and so on. Nevertheless, there are several threads common to all faiths the world over that make religion what it is. Next is this one. This is like a very soft leather, like a fake leather cover. It's nice and green. It's very flexible. ASMR, ASMR, ASMR. But in this case, the A is for Augustine, as in St. Augustine of Hippo, who published his Confessions. Those of you who may not know who St. Augustine is, he is a early, I want to say 4th to 5th century church father. He's probably one of the greatest theologians in the churches, in the Christian church. All different denominations love him, so can't go wrong with St. Augustine. And this is For you made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. And here's another one that I like. Give me 1 second to make sure. For they that seek shall find him, and those who find shall praise him. Referring to God. So you seek and you shall find. Okay. Our fourth book out of the 5. This book 4 out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some spirit tells. So if you've been to Barnes & Nobles, you probably have seen these books before. They're just like a very fancy design cover, and they're super like just cute. They have bigger ones too, which I do have, but I like these smaller ones. They come with a ribbon, and I got these like pre-inflation, so it's crazy seeing like how much money these are nowadays. Like I bought this for $10, and that's pretty good considering. Like, look at this artwork, right? $10. These are now $15. So I'm kind of grateful that I bought all of mine before, you know, the current state of things. So this is Aesop's Fables. Aesop was a storyteller. I want to say he was Greek or Roman. I can't remember what century, but he's very, very old. A lot of his short stories people would recognize, like The Tortoise and the Hare, you know, and the life lessons, slow and steady wins the race, that kind of thing. That's what Aesop's Fables is all about. So I like those classic fairy tales originate with Aesop's, and they're timeless. And that's why I got it, because you know, storytelling is a very important part of all cultures. But Aesop specifically, it plays a part in Western civilization and the development of values and ideas. So I also was reading a biography on Abraham Lincoln once, and he was inspired by one of Aesop's fables. So you know his famous quote about a house divided against itself cannot stand. He was inspired by one of these stories by Aesop, which is why I bought it. So I don't want to be too loud when I like tap it, because sometimes it can get loud. I'm just gonna do like light finger. Now I'll read a quick story. They're really short. They'll feel like a really short one. Sorry, I'm looking. Sorry, I'm looking. Okay. This one is called The Sick Kite. A kite who had been ill for a long time begged of his mother to go to all the temples in the country and see what prayers and promises could do for his recovery. The old kite replied, "My son,